Moving on from molesters, which are funny to shit on because obviously they're immoral as fuck. And moving on to something immoral on the environment. Zach.
We've got Chevron spilling 800,000 gallons of oil in water in California.
Oil and water, not oil.
Mhm. Oil and water. Officials began to clean up a massive oil spill Friday that dumped nearly 800,000 gallons of oil and water into California Canyon, making it larger, if less devastating, than the state's last two major oil spills. Chevron reported that 794,000 gallons of oil and water have leaked out of the ground where it uses steam injection to extract oil in the large Simric oil field about 35 miles west of Bakersfield.
Ah, cool. Did Chevron send us a video apologizing?
I hope so.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Just a bit of
So
oil.
sorry.
Just a little bit of oil. You
Just
guys
a
don't
little
worry-
bit.
Just a little bit of oil.
Clean
You guys
up
don't worry about it.
eventually.
Yeah,
Just a
well, we might
tiny-
get to it, or
Sometime we'll get.
try to get people that were willing to do it for free.
Man, what a safe and clean energy resource. I love how there's no ecological disasters that come from,
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
old clean oil.
There was never an oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico. I mean,
No.
that would be
Yeah,
ridiculous.
that totally didn't take years to clean up.
Nope.
And it's still being cleaned up as we speak.
Yeah, there aren't mutilated animals in that ocean or
Don't
anything.
worry, Dawn Soap Company is
Yeah.
pledging to wash every little animal in Dawn dish soap. So you guys don't need to worry about the animals, 'cause they'll be nice and squeaky clean.
You know, at home when you use Dawn, you remember using it on your dog? You see how good that is? Remember that?
Oh yeah,
Remember using it on your
It'll
baby?
really get rid of those genetic defects.
Just go ahead.
Rub them right out. Got an extra fin, just rub it right out.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, then you're just not using a rough enough scrubby.
Little known fact.
A loofah.
Little known fact here: if your child has a birth defect, you can use Dawn just to scrub it right off of them.
Oh, got an extra finger?
Just scrub that right off.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And so,
Got some brain damage? Drink some soap.
Yep.
Oh no, that oil pipeline going over your river. We'll just
Eat some
fucking
Tide Pods. Throw some Tide Pods in that oil. It'll fix it right up.
every freaking oil pipeline needs to be covered in Flex Seal, and we wouldn't have to worry about this shit.
Yeah, you're right.
Flex
Honestly,
Seal all
you're
this
right.
stuff up. Be good. Oil leak. We'll just get fucking Phil Swift out there and just slam that fucking
Boom.
oil
It's
leak
done.
with with some flex tape.
Go out to Hanford. You know all those tunnels made out of wood that are rotting, holding all that that radioactive waste? Boom. Some flex tape on there. That'll fix it up right up for you.
Dude, of course.
To
Also,
show you the sailing power of Flex Seal, I solved this pipeline in half.
okay, also, you said it was outside of Bakersfield, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
35 miles outside of
Of course, it was outside of Bakersfield. I'm trying to think. Is there any oil? I don't even know how many oil
At this
Fine.
point, they've dammed it off and they're sucking it out, sucking the oil out.
That's fucking disgusting and ridiculous. Dude, why would anybody want to live in this state?
Environmental group said Chevron spill is another sign of weakened regulations under an embattled California agency. Governor Gavin Newsom this week fired the head of the state's oil and gas division over recent increase in hydraulic fracturing permits and amid a conflict of interest investigation of other division employees. California's having some environmental issues, some regulation issues. Yeah.
Who would have thought that state would have had environmental issues? It's almost like people shouldn't be moving there.
You can move to the northern part.
When you said
Why? So
Bakersfield,
you could destroy the pristine environment there?
that's
Yeah.
true.
Ah,
I don't know when
room for all these influx of immigrants. We gotta cut down the redwood forests,
yeah,
Yeah.
ancient tree. Now fuck them, get rid of them.
siphon water off rivers in Northern
When
California,
you
and pull them into reservoirs so all these people can live in their desert.
when you said fucking Bakersfield, have you ever been to Bakersfield?
Yeah.
God, dude, I swear to God, you can literally see the smog in the air. Like,
Yes, you
it's
can.
actually disgusting. That's why I said I'm not surprised you said Bakersfield when you said there's an oil
Yeah.
spill there. I'm like, just what they needed. They got just this terrible air pollution, and now they got oil. They're perfect.
Pro tip. Don't live in
Yeah,
Bakersfield.
don't live in Bakersfield.
Pro tip: don't live in California.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, it's a cool state. It's just way overpopulated. But I mean, that's where that whole
Move to a
reindustrialization.
state that has its own supply of water.
But don't move to Washington,
No.
because we got enough water for us. We giving you some of our water, but if you move here, and then we're
Go
gonna
to
have
the
a
East Coast
drought.
is what we're saying.
Move into the Midwest. You got the
Midwest.
Mississippi River. You got all that farmland. You got all that corn.
Mm-hmm.
Don't move to California to be a tech mogul. Move to the Midwest and be a corn
Live along the
farmer.
Mississippi.
That's what I'm back.
Honestly, but no, that's not how populations move places anymore. Based on like the environment, they just move there because it's hip and cool.
Yeah.
And
Or
and
there's
then one
money
day,
there.
yeah, but that will come to bite them in the ass one day.
Yep. It always does. Always will.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move our capital to Brasilia, the middle of a forest.
An arid,
Yeah.
no, not even a forest. Brasilia is in that like flat, not even flat. It's just a very arid, dry part of the
Mm-hmm.
country that the Brazilians are also trying to turn into a big agricultural breadbasket.
I mean,
Despite the fact that there aren't any major
there's
rivers running there
there's
to
no
supply the
there's no
crop.
real farmland in Brazil. They're pretty unfortunate. They've got to import a lot of food.
I can see that.
Except for soy, they got the soy thing on lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a good idea. Let's invest most of our economic resources into one cash crop. Surely that will not turn and bite us in the ass in the future.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm still
People
angry that we don't have Gros Michel bananas.
well, I mean, that's what you get when they get diseased and the entire population dies off. But didn't that happen like 40 years ago?
Yeah, something
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
like in the 50s.
I never ever got a taste of Gros Michel banana.
Yep, you'd have to go to like Malaysia. Got to go to Asia to Gros Michel. And over there they eat them green because they're weird.
Wait, they eat them before they're like fully like ripe.
Yeah, they eat bananas before they're ripe.
That is a little weird, but I can like I don't know, they like a little crunchy. I don't know.
Bitter.
Dude, bananas before they're ripe, they're pretty solid. I'm not gonna lie. Like when you think of a banana, like you think like really soft and stuff.
I think the Gros Michel is softer than the.
It is.
Bananas in
Cavendish
America. Cabbages,
banana.
yeah.
They are. That's why they were used or as the main banana or main consuming banana. For so many
Apparently, they taste very similar to the Cavendish, but they were just slightly better, which makes me very sad. Bananas are already good. Imagine if they were just slightly better.
Nah, fam. Imagine if a disease killed off the entire population of that certain banana and nobody gave a fuck.
I just imagine one day you're gonna go to like some like Asian market, Zach, and you're just gonna see those bananas, and you're just so hyped to like imagine them tasting better, and you taste them, and they just taste like shit.
They could if I eat them
terrible.
Just buy 2 full bundles and let them ripen.
That's what I do when I get bananas.
What do you do with all those bananas? You're just like, eat them.
The
rest of the time you're there, you're just eating bananas.
I hate that we only have one type of banana here.
No, yeah, there's a ton of bananas actually. But when I get bananas, yeah, I usually get like ones that are a lot more ripe, and then I get ones that are like a lot more green, and then just like when I'm done with the first one, the second ones are ripe now. It's like, it's the way it should be.
I always eat bananas.
Bananas are great.
I eat bananas sometimes.
I used to not like bananas
I'm not
when I
much
was
of a
younger.
big
but
fruit guy.
yeah, no.
Neither am I, except for
Be
bananas.
apple. Yeah, I'd be like apples.
I mean,
I
like
support my
apples.
local economy by eating apples.
I mean, apples are like staple fruit.
Unless they're like apples grown in Chile or Southern California.
That's
Then it's just like,
unfortunate.
then
We
that's
make so
about-
many apples here, man. Come on. At least it's not that it would be very cheap to import. All you got to do is get it like
what do we import them
3 hours
across
away.
passes, or do we just ship them over boat? I know, it's very illogical. Like how gas prices in Alaska are really high, despite them having the largest, Alaska being the state with some of the largest oil reserves in the Union, if not the world.
I mean, it's hard to move stuff over there, so everything should be a little bit more expensive. It's hard to get stuff to Alaska. Expensive
Yeah, but
shit.
shit that's already in Alaska. Oil
Well, I mean,
being
even then, it's hard to get
excavated
around.
out from the north. If you can, it depends on how the oil is transported. Is it transported by pipeline? Is it transported
If
by
it's
boat?
transported by pipeline, it should be cheaper.
And if it's transported by boat, it should be pretty cheap unless you got to deal with icebreakers.
Yeah.
If you need to pay for a fleet of icebreakers,
That won't be a problem pretty soon.
I know Canada's just rubbing their hands together.
They're waiting for that northwest passage. Just that oil. I want that oil. I want those tariffs on everyone trying to go through our
waterways.
Yeah.
Especially like northern European countries, be way cheaper to transport stuff through the Northwest Passage than it would be, or the Northern Passage, than it would be to go through the Panama Canal.
Mm-hmm.
See, if I were the Panamanians, I'd be like, we need to stop this climate change shit now. It's gonna cut into our profit margins in the future.
It's not like they have very much say in the matter, though.
Yeah, I know. The president of Panama says something, it might get like a little tiny bit of coverage in some small news.
Not,
or at least
it would get no coverage in America.
Yeah, I don't imagine it. I don't even imagine.
Yeah, you'd probably hear about it on like Twitter or something, like a friend of a friend. But we don't care. We don't care. We don't care about ecological disasters. We don't care about